Hello and welcome to Zero Cool Gaming and today's long play of Reckoning. I'm going to start with just kind of giving some information on where I'm going to go with how I'm recording. I am trying to get ahead, but at the same point I realize that I probably shouldn't try to do like try to get a year ahead in my rants about what's going on now in that respect. Because a year from now, what's it going to matter? Not that I'm getting a year ahead, but even 3 months ahead is pretty long. So I'm going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to sit here and for like current events or current things that are going on, I'm going to do a different game, and then I'm going to use this game here for doing like movie reviews and anime reviews and game reviews, because none of that stuff in truth is going to matter. I could do a year ahead of that and it wouldn't matter, and then I could just release those reviews as I go. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this from now on. Is I'm going to be doing, so there'll be like 2 games. It'll be about a month from now before you start seeing that. But what it'll be is there'll be 2 different games. There'll be this one and another one, and I think it's going to be the rest of Grandia, the original Grandia game. And I'll play that game for doing like, current events. And then I'll play this game for all the reviews. And because of how, I guess you could say, generous YouTube is with their the amount of memory that they allow me to upload, or storage space that they give me. Even though I don't like YouTube as a platform, and I do know that one day YouTube is absolutely just gonna kick me off of their platform. Right now, because of how much information they give me, I upload 2 other games without, there's no commentary to them, but there's 2 other games on top of these videos that I upload to YouTube every day. So I think I've got like 16 or 17 games uploaded over there that I've played through. And that's kind of where I am with all that. And then you have I'll still continue to upload games that I've played with no commentary to them. I just finished Soul Reaver 2 and Defiance, so I have those ready to upload. I'm going to start playing a bunch of Tales games. I'll have those ready to upload. Things like that. There's a lot of that. I like the Tales series, but they're too involved. It's like Star Ocean. Star Ocean is too involved of an RPG. It requires too much thought for me to sit here and give commentary while playing it. And that's a me thing, because I get distracted by the game rather than what I'm talking about. I mean, even just talking and playing this game, I lose my way. Because I forget where I'm going and what I'm doing while I'm talking. So let's talk about some current events. And truly what I'm going to be talking about here is tactics. From a tactical perspective. And understand that tactical perspectives are cold-hearted. That there is no emotion or care for humanity or anything in that respect applied to tactical positioning and tactical understanding, things to that effect.
If I have to live for the rest of my life without it knowing, well then I'll deal with that. I think there's something to be said for it. I think it's noble.
Yeah, I'm not going to try that.
Tell someone, but that's just
So,
asking for praise. What makes it an act of kindness is that nobody knows.
What do I think is going to happen with the insanity
the
that is ensuing
no
currently?
One has to know his arrow missed.
Well,
he saved the town. He's a hero.
Hold on a second. Let me do something. Wow. Hold on a second, let me read that, because obviously there's something that I... Okay, well, I did that. So why isn't it saying that that's a thing that's been done? I don't know. This is odd. But I have a whole bunch of gold rings now, and that truly doesn't make sense to me. So, we're going to have to figure that out. Okay, so back to tactics. So I can give some kind of understanding of what's going on. We have this war going on. And this war could very well...
Be on your guard. The Red Legion are all about, and they do not take prisoners.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Well... I guess all those gold circles are where everywhere else that I'm supposed to go to get rid of these crates. I'm guessing. Truly, I'm guessing. Because they weren't there a second ago. I don't understand why they're gold, though. They should be like white. I thought gold was a long load time. I thought gold was used for just the main quest. Oh, there's 10 crates. Okay. So, let's keep going. Okay, so we have this, let's call it a front, an acquisition of land. Russia is colonizing Ukraine. You know, I don't care how you want to put that. Russia's a big country. Truly. And he's sending 300,000 troops to deal with his acquisition of Ukraine. That's a pretty good sized front line. And that's going to cause a necessity, let's call it, for these people to And when I say these people, I'm talking about the NATO nations, the eastern countries, or western countries. Western countries is what they call us. So I have no doubt that, yes, they're gonna end up drawing a whole bunch of troops from all over the place to meet that challenge, or whatever you want to call it. And while that's happening, China's going to take Taiwan. And the excuse will be, well, we can't move forces over there fast enough to deal with that problem. Or they'll say we can't fight two fronts at the same time. They'll give some bullshit excuse as to why they can't do anything about it. And the end result of that, of course, will be, China taking Taiwan. Now, once China takes Taiwan, that's when we'll see the nukes. And you're probably wondering what I mean by that. We know how to end wars like this. It's been done. And we did that with North and South Korea. What we did was we created a DMZ. And the demilitarized zone was basically just a line of land, or a line on the land that was cleared of pretty much everything. And then they put up a fence, put up towers. You had small arm fire, and right behind the guards for the border that they created in that respect is artillery. And anything that enters that DMZ is removed permanently. And that's the same thing that Putin will do. Of course it is. Why wouldn't he? I mean, truly, why wouldn't he? Now, we've seen what he's going to do with this. And I'll give you an understanding of what's going to happen when he does this. We've seen that he's going to use hypersonic missiles, and there'll probably be tactical nukes attached to the heads of those. Small yield, maybe a quarter mile, half mile, maybe it's only a tenth of a mile, who knows. But I would guess probably something like a quarter mile. And he'll just launch enough of them to make a line. He'll kill millions in the process. And we'll know that he's getting ready to do this because his forces will pull back for a day, maybe 3 days, somewhere between there, before that launch occurs. Now, do we have missiles that could intercept that? Yes, we have hypersonic missiles as well. Of course we do. Will they be moved to Ukraine to be used? Absolutely not. So let me explain to you how that's going to play out. We've seen how conventional missiles against conventional missiles work. 43% of them get through. That's just how that plays out. And if you're wondering why it's like that, it's because with today's missiles, today's technology, okay, and you've got, you know, the targeting missiles, which are being launched to take out targets, and then you have the interceptor missiles, which are launched to take out those missiles. Even with conventional missiles today, those missiles have the ability to detect incoming objects and try to avoid them. And as we see, about 43% of the interceptor missiles will miss their target as a result of that, because, you know, they'll move to dodge the incoming missile, and then the interceptor missile will alter its course to reacquire the target, and so on and so forth. And yeah, about conventional missiles against conventional missiles have about a 60% success rate. Not bad, truly. I'm just going to, whether you've seen what these hypersonic missiles look like or not, I'm going to kind of explain to you what they look like. They look like small planes. And there's a reason that they look like small planes. Because when you're traveling 2,300 miles an hour and you try to maneuver, having the body of what you would consider a conventional missile is not going to work. That type of design at those speeds would spin out of control and just go into a dead spin like a plane trying to turn when it's traveling too fast. Which is why they made these things look like little planes, so that they would be able to maneuver and dodge incoming targets as they acquired them. So, if I was to guess as to how effective conventional missiles are going to be against hypersonic missiles, I would say that the conventional missiles will probably miss every one of them, and if we're lucky, they'll hit 2 to 3. And I'm not saying that to be a smartass. I'm saying that because that's realistically what's going to happen. Oh. Okay. Call me dumb. It was right there in front of me and I couldn't see it. I wouldn't call that a smart thing, but it is definitely a thing that happened. It's a good thing that there's a lot of markings on these maps. So, tactically speaking, that's how I think this is going to play out. And then after the DMZ zone is created, he'll just put up like a... maybe it's be barbed wire fence. It may be something like a chain link fence with razor wire on top of it. He'll throw up some towers, and he'll put artillery behind that. That's just how I see this playing out. And there's several reasons for that. I mean, one of those reasons being that I don't think that our government truly is trying to stop Russia from doing anything. That's just my opinion on the matter. I'm sure they'll put up a good show. They'll make it sound good. But I don't think they're trying to actually prevent anything, to be quite honest with you. That's just my opinion on the matter. Doesn't mean I'm right. It just means it's my opinion. And the same thing with China. I mean, that's why they'll give excuses as to why there's nothing that can be done, rather than trying to do anything at all. Is because, again, I don't think that they want to prevent any of it in that respect, or put a stop to any of it. That's not their objective. I do have several reasons why I don't think that our government will actually try to put a stop to any of this. And part of it stems from, quite literally, Joe Biden's son. Yes, he worked for a Ukrainian gas company. Does that mean that I think that Joe Biden is in any way wanting to help Ukraine? No. That gas company that his son worked for essentially was owned by Russians, and they were guilty of harming the Ukrainian people on many occasions. And what I mean by harming them is by essentially stealing their money. And they'd been investigated for that. I mean, it's a whole sordid mess. They'd been investigated for it. One of the owners of the company had fled the country for years because he knew he was going to prison for what he had done. A lot of insanity. None of that says that our current political administration has any type of allegiance to Ukraine at all, period. It shows the exact opposite. And then what Biden did a little over a year ago proves that fact. Because Biden did the one thing that Russia needed, Putin in particular, needed to happen so that he could properly supply his military. If you remember, Biden ended the sanctions against Russia a year before this war started because those sanctions only served to harm the good people of Russia. Because, yeah, right. That's not why they were put in place. They were put in place because Russia had invaded Ukraine and killed tens of thousands of Ukrainians, and sanctions were put in place to prevent him from properly supplying his military and continuing his invasion of Ukraine. And those sanctions worked for 8 years until Biden ended them. And then a year later, after properly supplying his military, Putin continued his invasion of Ukraine. So, you know, there's that. But it doesn't end there. You also have the issue with how much money his son made in China. I have no idea how much that is, but I'm willing to bet that it was quite a bit. Enough so that our establishment will sit there and give every excuse in the world as to why there's nothing that can be done to save Taiwan, why we're dealing with the efforts in Ukraine, obviously. But anyway, that's just my rant on the matter, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.